All right, guys, Lewis again with the podcast. I have a new guest, and you are?
I'm Stacey Scott. My brokerage is Keller Williams Frisco Stars.
Very nice. And how long have you been there?
I've been there for 1 year now.
Yeah? So you know Casey, you know Rachel, you know the crew? Yeah.
I do. They're
Yeah.
amazing. They're
Yeah.
amazing. They take
Absolutely.
good care of us.
Right. So, walk me through it. Why real estate? How'd you get started? What were you doing
It
before?
was very random.
Yeah.
My journey in real estate has been random. I've always wanted to be in education. Since I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. So I went to a high school and I went through like a pathway for teachers, took all the courses for early childhood education. Then I went off to the University of North Texas in Denton and I studied early childhood education. And then I said, I don't want to work with little kids anymore. I want to work with big kids. So then I kind of switched a couple classes so that I could work in the high school realm. So I got my degree in early childhood education with a concentration on human development family studies. And I ended up teaching family consumer sciences, which we know as home ec.
It's called consumer sciences now?
Family consumer sciences, or FCS. So
Okay.
that entails money management, family development, child development, hospitality and tourism, all the classes that deal with families, children, and the like, which is a fun elective classes. So if you have children, put them in those classes because they need to know about money management, they need to know about family development, child development, emotional intelligence, hospitality, and there's so many courses that fit under that umbrella. But yeah, that's what I got my degree in, and then I ended up teaching high school for 6 years in the Metroplex, and I loved it. And then COVID happened.
Okay.
I just had my daughter. She literally was 3 months old, and it was time to go back to work.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You have to teach. Come to the classroom and teach while your students are home, working remote, and then put your baby in daycare." And I was like, "No, not
Instead of staying home.
with my baby while my students are at home. We could all be at home, right, on camera." No, they wanted all the teachers to report back to the classroom. Many of the daycares in the area had shut down, so me and my husband did not feel comfortable putting our firstborn in daycare. So
Right.
I just ended up leaving. He said, just, go ahead and leave and, take a break, take care of the baby, and
Then you
we'll
got
figure
bored.
it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we got bored. Well, I got bored.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the stay-at-home type. Maybe one day, but I'm not. I had already been doing my photography business for about 6 years at the time, 5 or 6 years at the time, doing that on the part-time, right, just on the side. So I was like, I'm just going to do this, focus on photography and my baby. Then I got bored, and I said, I'm going to start doing graphic design and web design, and I started that business. And I was doing graphic design and branding for different small businesses that popped up during COVID, right? And I was doing that for full-time for those 3 years that my daughter was young. My dad had been a realtor since I was in elementary school. I grew up going to Century 21 office with him and Prudential office with him and doing homework on the computers while he was working and making copies and making calls. And when I started my photography business, he started asking me to do real estate photography, which I had no idea. I was used to shooting people.
Yeah.
So I started doing his real estate photography and taking photos of
It's a
his
lot of
listings.
interesting lenses to try and get.
Totally different lens from a portrait or family,
Yeah, you're trying to get the everything
you
in the
gotta get
picture,
everything.
but you can't make
And
it
then
look like a
editing.
fisheye.
Exactly. And then
you gotta
editing
square-
is totally different too
yeah.
because you can't legally edit and Photoshop those listings. If it looks like they're on camera, you can't edit that ugly little outlet out, or you can't, no, it needs to be as is. So
Right.
editing people versus editing, people, they want you to edit everything. Can you make me 20 pounds lighter? Take off my double chin, But with the real estate, it's totally different. So I learned how to do that, and thanks to my dad. So I grew up, helping him with his flips and taking photos for his listings and going to, I didn't think I would ever be an agent because I didn't think I was an entrepreneur. But
But you
once
already
I
had a photography
but
business.
but that was a side thing. That was like my
Okay.
side thing.
Yeah.
But once it became my main thing, I realized, I could do this. So then I just jumped in the process. I'm going to get my license, and it just kind of took off ever since. So I've been enjoying it because the beautiful thing about having those small businesses, my branding and my photography business, is showing I'm doing the same thing. I'm working with people. I'm serving a purpose for them. I'm creating a pipeline. I'm marketing myself. I have all these leads.
How have you branded yourself in real estate?
It's funny because as you know, as with my photography business, I'm like behind the scenes.
Right.
With real estate, I'm now.
You got to be up front, yeah.
And
Your
it's
face has to be
so
everywhere.
uncomfortable because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and just be me. My brand is Silly Goofy Stacey. People know me. If you come across me, you're gonna know somebody who knows me because I just know my mom's the same way. We know no strangers. She can walk into a grocery store and say, "Hey, I think I know you." I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I know that girl. I don't know how. I just know. Like, I'm born and raised in Dallas, Texas, so I just have been able to meet a lot of people. And me being in the Frisco area now, there's so many move-ins, so I've been able to meet so many different transit people. So this just kind of helped me come get out of my shell, be me, realize my brand is me. You know, you don't have to be anything that you're not. Just be authentically you, and people resonate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that answered your question.
And you put, so Maddie found you on social media. I mean, I go to that office all the time. You know, I know Howard, I know the whole crew, right? But I don't know you from that. I've seen you in there once before.
Yeah.
But your social media presence was so good that we actually we found you there.
Oh, thank
I wanted
you.
to bring you on the podcast. One, because you're so animated.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we get people that just, I started in 19. Oh my God. No. So this is much more fun for me.
The beautiful thing about being a millennial, we just extra.
Just,
but no, the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur is you get to create your own, like I said, your own brand. When I was in education, you kind of have to fit the mold of the district.
Of course.
You can't post certain things, can't say certain things, you can't wear certain things. You kind of put yourself in a box. So once I left education, it was like a freedom. Like I miss being an educator because I miss my students. Those are my babies. But I didn't realize how confined I was. Like I just kind of shrunk, you know? So now I kind of get to be my animated, fun self, and I get to wear what I want. If I want to work from home, if I want to get dressed up and go to the office, I want to do my hair a certain way. I get to be myself. I don't have to clean up my language or my lingo. I get to just be authentic.
Yeah, and you attract the people that you want to work with.
Exactly.
Just being yourself, putting it out there.
And that's what my students love. But of course, when you're in a corporate entity, you have to fit the mold. You have to be in a box. So I think just feeling free to be me.
So this is a better fit then, I feel like. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have students now reaching out to me to buy houses. I'm like, I'm not that old.
How did that happen?
I don't know. They're like graduating college. It's like, hey, Miss Scott, I'm getting ready to graduate Texas Tech. My dad's going to give me $60K for a graduation gift. What do I do with it? I'm like, what? You're graduating. You're going to buy a property at 20? So it's so crazy to me. But everything's full circle, Mom. Nothing's wasted. A lot of the things that I experienced in the classroom have hugely helped me and impacted me in my business. Like teaching, you're educating, you're teaching people, you're going through the steps, and that's exactly what you're doing, especially with a lot of buyers, first-time home buyers. They don't understand anything about the process. They just think that this house is expensive.
So you get to use your education background to educate your clients.
Oh, yeah. Everything from technology.
Lay it out like a toddler, right?
Branding and marketing myself, explaining things, making things like visual. Yeah, and it's really awesome because I didn't realize I would be able to use those skills. You know, you think, I wasted all this time getting this degree I'm not going to use anymore. I'm still paying these student loans for. But you think you're not going to be able to use those skills anymore. But no, they're all transferable, so nothing's wasted. So it's awesome. And then there's a ton of teachers that I still hang with that need to buy a house.
Of course they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving around.
So the beauty of it, my husband's also an educator, so we have this huge network of friends.
Big pool. Yeah.
It's a huge pool, so I get to help those educators who want to be first-time home buyers who don't think they make enough or they don't qualify or there's no programs available for them. I can be able to be a resource and say, hey, I understand how you get paid. I understand what you get paid. I understand the programs that are out there that can help and assist you. Let me help you walk through the steps so that I can get you into a home. So it all works out.
Now, I mean, social media is just so powerful today.
Yeah.
Do you have like a different social media personality? Because we blast social media. This will be on social media.
Yeah.
I post YouTube videos, Instagram, everything.
Yeah.
Do you have like your own little personality, your own shtick that you do on there, or is it just you're so goofy yourself already?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring that out. I think my shtick is just me being me. I haven't really figured out what
Being authentic, I feel, brings so much.
I think so
Yeah.
too, because all the people that I follow, they all have their stitch, but it's basically their personality that you resonate with. So I just try to be me, because if you create a persona, you have to stick with it.
Yeah.
And I don't have time. Like I got 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old. I got an 11-month-old. I got a husband. I'm tired. I have my photography business, my real estate business. I don't have time to turn it on and turn it on. So I think just being me. Like sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want to post this, and I'll see it, and I'm inspired by someone's post, and I'm like, let me recreate that, but my way, because that's not me. It's not gonna. People who know me know that that's not me. If I'm trying to be something that I'm not.
Looks like you're just copying.
It looks like you're copying something,
Yeah.
or it looks like you're trying too hard. I'm like, girl, that's not you. So, trying to just be me, make it my own, remix it. That's kind of working for me. That's kind of really been working.
You
for
said
me.
4 years and 11 months.
4 years and 11 months. Yep.
Goodness.
I know.
So how do you balance that? You don't, do you?
I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter had the luxury of being home with me during COVID.
Okay.
But my son, he's 11 months old. Let me say, I had him. I took my real estate exam. Then 2 days later, I had my baby. So
What?
it was a wham bam thing to me. I was like boom boom boom. But I knew that I had to go ahead and take the test and get things rolling, because when baby's here, it's all about them,
Yeah,
and you
of
have to
course.
focus on them, and that's kind of what it's been like.
So you had a deadline.
I
for
sure
yourself.
did.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, the babies, they do what they want. They don't care that you have to work. You have a business. So that's
Right.
cute. I need some milk. I need to poop. You know.
Yeah.
So I had a deadline. I was like, okay, study for your test. Take it this day. You have to take it and ace it before you have the baby. And that's exactly what happened. My induction date was on a Wednesday. I took the test on a Monday. Everybody thought it was crazy, but I was like, no, I'm gonna take this test and pass this test. If I don't pass it, it's no big deal. I'll take it again. But you have to kind of have that mindset, because you have to bet on yourself. You have to bet on yourself. But it is hard juggling things. I have a great husband who helps me out. My in-laws, they're nearby, so they help out. My family are local. I'm really blessed, because everyone's nearby. My mom's nearby. My dad's nearby. Siblings all throughout the Metroplex. So I have a great support system. But I just don't get that much sleep. That's really what it is.
Well, I mean, 11 months.
You
Yeah.
know, like, hey, they're in daycare right now, so I get things done during the day.
Okay.
I have to fit it in that daycare window. If it don't happen during the window,
It's
it
not
ain't gonna.
happening. It's not happening.
Unless they're asleep, which they never like to sleep unless I'm asleep. They only sleep when I'm asleep. One's sleeping next to me here, and the other one they have to touch you too. They have to both touch you. The babies have to touch you. They can't sleep without feeling mommy.
I don't have kids, so I don't.
Well, enjoy your sleep.
I don't know that luxury.
Enjoy your sleep. So they just on me
Enjoy
like
my sleep.
leeches. My husband sleeps like a baby.
Yeah.
They don't want him. They want mommy. So
We're good at men. We're good at sleeping. Yeah.
Exactly. But I make it work. I use that 8-hour or 7-hour window they're in school, and then once they're home, then I'm off. And
That's a good work-life balance, though.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And you have to have it.
You
I mean,
do.
your clients don't
Lo-
care.
no.
So sometimes you just have to say, hey, give me about an hour, or, you know, sometimes you have to pivot a little bit. But for the most part,
need
you
that
have to have
balance.
that
Yeah, you
balance.
do.
Even for yourself, kids or no kids, you don't want to be taking calls all day. Like,
Oh no, I have some pretty hard set hours, and a lot of my customers
Yeah.
know that we got other people that will answer the phone later, but after about 6 o'clock, you're not getting a
Can
hold
I
of
eat
me.
my dinner, please? Let me just eat my
You're
dinner.
not getting a hold of me,
please.
no.
Yeah, there's some agents at the office. They're like, I was in the bath and I got a phone call and I just grabbed it. I was like, you answering phone calls
No.
in the bathtub naked? Like, why? You're not even focused. You're not even in the right frame of mind. Or you're soaking in the tub to be answering calls. Business will be there.
It'll be there. It'll be there tomorrow morning.
They can leave a
Whatever it
voicemail.
is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm learning. You don't have to be desperate.
No.
Just balance.
No, some very, very top producing agents I know, it's split right down the middle.
Yeah.
The ones that work 24 hours a day and the ones that have very set hours. So no, this is my time.
Yeah.
But they're both extremely successful.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of creating your
Pick
own.
your own. Yeah,
your own,
there's not
yeah.
a wrong way or right way. But like I said, me being a mom and a wife, I have to be a little bit more selfish in that matter.
Of course
One,
you
for
do.
my mental health. Two, because they deserve a mom to be present.
Yep.
They're at school all day. And I'm going to then I'm going to ignore them at home. That's not cool. So
No.
I got to make sure that I give everybody a little
That's
bit.
y'all's time. Yeah.
Exactly. But like you said, certain things, it can be handled tomorrow. If it's not a
Most things
know,
can be
like,
handled
there's-
tomorrow. Most things
email
can.
me, text
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
I'll see
yeah.
it.
I'll
I'll
get to it
respond in the
tomorrow.
morning.
Yeah.
So just learning how to create my own, my own shtick. That way I'm not burnt out, because in any industry you can get burnt out. especially as an entrepreneur, you really don't have set hours. There's no clock in, clock out. You're sending contracts at 10 p.m. You're running backgrounds at 12 p.m. At 12 a.m. So there's never really a clock out time. So finding ways to just create your balance and
you said earlier, you got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's scary. Going into your business is scary.
Why is it
because no one wants to fail, right?
People
don't realize that there's no. I'm not getting a check every Friday. There's no hours I can check on my timesheet saying, okay, my next check is going to be. No, there's no 401k. None of these things. So when
there's no check until you're sitting in title at the table.
Hello.
And you watch both clients sign it. Otherwise, there's no check.
You can work. You can do everything
work
right.
60 hours.
And then the buyer can say, I want to back out. I don't feel good about this. You're like,
you got to unwind the whole thing.
And what money did I make in that? So
zero.
So people don't realize it's a lot more risky. But there's a great reward in it too. Like I said, I get to set my own hours. I get more family balance. I can actually have time with my family. I can go to my kids' events and activities. My husband's a coach. I can go to his games and activities and all his different things. I can rest and take an afternoon nap. I can actually see more reward in my time and my investment in my work based off of all the steps that I'm doing. But like I said,
does it make you nervous not knowing?
It doesn't make me nervous.
Okay.
It did in the beginning, but like I said, I've always had those small businesses, so I'm used to it. I'm used to knowing that I'm not going to get a check this week, but then next week I can close 3 deals. Somebody can call me on the random Saturday and say, hey, Stacey, my baby's graduating. Can you take her senior photos? And I'm like, oh, okay. And now I just made $3,000.
Right.
So you have to just be ready for that. But then it also tells you that, hey, you can't sit around doing nothing. You need to bust your behind and do the work.
It also tells you when you got those 3 closings, you got a bunch of money rolling in.
Hello.
You don't spend it.
And
because the next month you might not get it.
What's funny though? Being a teacher, guess how many times you get paid in a month?
Once?
You get paid once a month.
Yeah.
Every 15th. Some districts on the 20th. Who gets at the end of the month? So you get one check. And you have to divvy that up however necessary for your family. Yeah. It teaches you. So I'm already kind of like I said, nothing's wasted. I've already been exposed to that. So we've already had to learn. Like I said, both of us we're educators. So we both got paid on the same day because we're in the same district. So it was just like, okay, we're rich. And then those bills come out, right? And then you're like, oh, we got $10 left. But this is kind of how it is. You learn to manage everything. You learn to pay your bills and pay yourself accordingly and just be smart with your money. So now that I'm in real estate, there's no difference. Manage what you have. You're not, I'm rich. Yeah, you got a big payout, but you still have to feed your family, you still have to put money in your savings, you still have bills to pay. So you I've kind of learned early on how to manage the amount of money that you do have, because like you said, there might be few and far in between. Yeah. Some months you're doing 1 closing, some you have 3, some you have none, some might be at least listing. So it just changes, especially throughout the different seasons.
I see a lot of realtors, especially new realtors. Mm-hmm. They sell 1 or 2 houses. You just got, I don't want to say lucky. They hustle for it, of course.
Exactly.
But a little bit of luck because they're brand new realtors, and they buy a brand new car.
Yeah, you're right.
And then later they're going,
what did
crap, But it felt so good.
It felt nice to treat yourself, right?
Yeah.
And now you got a new luxury car, and now you have those luxury tires and those luxury maintenance. I had one of my best friends. She went and got a BMW. Got the little vanity plate on the back. When things need to be repaired and maintenance. She didn't realize those dealerships. You have to go to the dealership, and everything was even more expensive. Basic oil change was now, So that showed me early on, So she ended up trading it in and got a Volkswagen. Yeah. But I laughed because we just get excited. It's kind of nice. You want to have fun. You want to treat yourself. You work hard, but you still pay for that luxury.
It's a weird balance being an entrepreneur because in different seasons of it, you get that big. Big payday randomly because a bunch of things added up in one. You look at your account, you're like, oh man. Snap. And you want to treat yourself.
Exactly.
But you got to keep remembering, oh man, there were 2 or 3 months where I was really I was tight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think everything's good in moderation.
Of course.
I think it's like a catch-22 because we're so we're so like taught to just be responsible, pay bills, pay bills. Who wants to just work this hard just to go pay the light bill and the mortgage?
Yeah.
I paid all my bills. Yay! Like what? Like you haven't vacationed in 3 years. You haven't bought new underwear. Like you know you're looking crazy. Go buy some new underwear. Go buy a pair of shoes. Like it's okay. So I think it's all about balance. You know.
So what do you want as the business takes off? I mean, you got goals, obviously.
Yeah.
Where do you want it to go?
I want
beyond just paying bills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The goal for me and my family is to eventually have a team.
Uh-huh.
I want to be able to also get investment properties because I want to build generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be at a point where I am in my retirement years and I don't have to worry about doing a ton of transactions because my properties are bringing in that residential income. But ultimately, I want to be able to create this platform for my family because I want my children, if they want to go into real estate or not, to be kind of like a family business. Even if they don't decide to go in real estate.
I mean, you followed in your dad's footsteps.
I am. I didn't think I would do that. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I didn't think I had it in me. But it was always in my face. Always in my face. And even then, my dad, right now, he's probably doing one transaction a month. Let's say that. Maybe once a month, once every other month.
Yeah.
But he's had so many investment properties. And he's been able to get other businesses and be able to do all these things. So it's showing me.
Well, that's a luxury in itself that you don't have to go.
You don't have
He's
to.
just doing it because an old customer called him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so and he has so many clients throughout the years that are still loyal to him.
Right.
They don't want anybody else but him. So I love that about entrepreneurship. You create a relationship. And even though the transactions are, about a year or 3 years or 5 years, apart, they're giving you referrals. They're sending families and coworkers to you. They're coming back to you when it's time for them to sell, their children to buy. So those relationships, you can't beat that. So as long as my father's in his mid-60s, but he's not going to slow down because
right.
It doesn't slow down. People are always going to need a place to stay. People are always going to need to sell, buy, lease. It's always going to be a need.
Well, you touched on, like you said, he's got old customers that trust him.
Yeah.
And they just think, okay, got to sell the house. We'll just call him.
Yeah.
Right. They don't even think about it. They just call him
You
up.
can call Tony.
Yeah. Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell my house. And it's just a call. It's just a simple call, simple text. And that's the beauty of those relationships. And that's why it's so important as I build my business to focus on how can I build that trust? How can I utilize the amount of clients that I've had in other businesses of mine and show them, hey, I am in this new business, new industry, but they already know me. Their family knows me. They know I have integrity. They know my background. They know what I bring to the table. So it's great when I can showcase those skills, but also how can I put it? Also allow my new industry to spill over into my old industry. So I've been able to work with many of my photography clients, and I didn't even think that would be the same niche or the same clientele. I didn't realize that. Oh, Stacey, you have a set of clients already that you can focus on and hone in on, and then eventually they're gonna need a place to stay or move or purchase. So I've been able to utilize that same pipeline based on the history I have with those clients. So you don't have to go and do the signs and the ads and do all the dances on the TikTok. You have family, you have friends. Focus on those people.
It's your sphere.
Focus on your sphere.
Yeah.
Those people already know you. They already trust you. If you're trustworthy, But those that really know you, they want to work with you because this is one of the biggest transactions they're ever going to do in their life. Why would they want to work with a stranger?
Yeah.
And they know that, oh, my girl got me. She's going to take care of me. So that's kind of what I've been blessed to be able to say most of my clients have been people that I know, people that trust me, know me, have done life with me, have went to school with me, high school classmates, neighbors. So the beauty in that is knowing that your relationships and how you treat people, it really matters. It really matters. You may not think it does, but in the small business world, it definitely matters.
Yeah. What attracted you? Was it Howard? What attracted you to KW?
Oh, KW. It's funny because
who doesn't like Howard?
Howard's amazing.
Yeah.
But I got approached by a ton of. You will once you finish real estate school. You're gonna get approached from a ton of brokers.
Of course, they want you.
Yeah, they want you. Hello. But I interviewed with many, and it's funny because some of the brokers I interviewed with, they were like, I asked them about training. As a new agent, I want to be trained. I don't care about the split. I want to be trained. I don't want to be lost, right? So most of them will say, well, we don't have a training program per se, but we can team you up with another agent.
We can send you right back to the school you came from.
And I'm like,
some more
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't have a training program. Or they were like, what they call it, mobile brokers. Like, they don't have an office. Which is great. It's just
virtual,
fine.
Yeah, the virtual brokers.
Ones. Like I said, but for new agents, it's not very wise to jump into those when you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Like, you need to train. And I am humble enough to say, teach me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you were a teacher.
I'm a So I don't like to not know what I'm doing. I don't like to be lost. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask. I'm going to call. I'm going to ask. So I wanted to go where there's and then a lot of them were like, well, Kim Williams is going to train you. I'm like, you can suggest another broker? That's really sad. That means you should probably work on fixing your model.
So then you went and called
Then
it
it was
KW?
a couple of KWs, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, KW is the one to think about. So then there was a couple, I think there was 3 that approached me too. So I went and met up with different ones throughout the Metroplex. But what got me with the Frisco Stars was when I visited, it did not feel corporate. It just felt like a family. Even though it's a really big brokerage with a ton of agents, I didn't feel like that. I walked in, people initially greeted me, they laughed, they're looking at the baby. Yeah, I brought the baby. He was like 2 weeks old. Like, oh my gosh, look at the baby. Me and my husband came, we toured, we met everybody. It just felt comfortable. I saw one of my old students there. I said, oh my God, I'm getting old. Amen. But I just felt so comfortable. It just felt really good. The fact that I saw people learning and training, people asking questions, it didn't feel like we're all doing the same job. We don't have to help each other, right? The same area, the same niche, right? We can just see each other as competition, but it does not feel like that in that office. Everybody's going to, it doesn't matter who I go to. I can walk into Howard's office. I can walk into the receptionist's office. I can go to any team office and they're going to help me. I can call them up right now and say, such and such gave me your number. Can you help me? Oh, yeah. So I just feel so good to not feel nervous or scared or like a burden. People are going to just help you because in a lot of industries, it's all about every man for himself. So that's kind of what got me to go ahead and sign with this broker because that team, they take care of you.
Felt good to you.
And it still does.
I teach there too.
What you teach?
Yeah.
What are you teaching?
I've taught in the conference room, the teaching room. I've taught class about foundations, how to read an inspection report. Yeah, that was me.
Cindy said, you didn't go to the class. I missed her.
Cindy, yeah.
Yeah, she speaks highly of you guys. So,
yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's been using us for a long time.
Yeah.
I teach a bunch of classes.
I know, and you teach another.
Yeah, you're never going to miss one now.
No. So yeah, and it's important because those are the things that, especially new agents, they need to be in those classes because until you are in an option period and you're looking at the inspection report, you're like, how do I interpret this long 60-page thing?
Yeah, they're long. They're long.
And they're very meticulous. So if you don't go to those classes, you're not going to know how to read those things. You're not going to know how to interpret it. You're not going to know what's a little maintenance thing versus what needs some real repair. That's important. I learned the hard way.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you got a great foundation.
Oh.
You got the training.
No pun intended.
Yeah, so there you go. But
Yeah.
I mean, systematically, you went to all the correct steps. You're selling houses.
Yeah.
So, if I check back in with you in like a year, we do this again, what's it going to look like?
I'm speaking into existence. I'm going to say I'm going to be cranking out 3 transactions a month.
Okay.
I'm going to have my team formed because that's like on my year-end to-do list because I really want to start a team. People think it's kind of ambitious, but why not? Like I said, why not?
Do it.
So have my team formed, cranking out 3 to 4 transactions a month, really honing in on helping first-time home buyers, especially teachers, because that's me and my husband's, that's our baby. We love working with teachers. That's one of those underserved populations. And like a lot of my friends, they just don't believe that they can get into a home. And it's like, I really want to work with that population. So specializing in helping first-time home buyers and teachers, as well as having my first investment property.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be able
That's
to
a great goal, yeah.
Yeah, I want to have a little duplex.
I'm going to check back in with you.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Hold me accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you should. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, with that, we'll end it. But it was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And make sure you got that property in a year when I call you. All right, guys. We're going to put all our info in the description. If you want to buy a house, if you just want to chat with her, Check her out on social media. All that information will be down below.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See y'all later.